Hello students, this is Professor Dr. Kamal Bhattacharya, Motherhood University. This video is a request video of my student Parash Saini, who is studying in MA, 3rd semester. He wants to be given overview of translation studies. Translators, they are called the treacherers. Okay, they are called treacherers. Why? Because when they translate from one language to another language, they change emotions, words, meaning, but not intentionally. Sometimes a translator is carried away by the deep emotion, the deep meaning of the original writing. But translation also gives a new vista to a local language. For example, we know the novel written by Gitanjali Sri, okay, The Tome of Sand. It was written in Hindi and translated by Daisy Rockwell. Okay, so this novel got the international acclamation because of the translation. Okay, translation means either you translate from word to word or meaning wise. So we can say there are transcription, transliteration and translation. Transcription means a code when it is decoded, transcription. Transliteration means when you are literally or by virtue of its power of literature. Suppose you are translating Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. So you have to stick to the emotion that is written in the 17th century. So discussions about theories of translations are too often concerned with the distinctions between literary and non-literary text. So if you are translating in Hindi from English to Hindi the essays of Francis Bacon, the essays of Elia, okay, and Charles Lamb, then your approach to the translation will be different. Okay, so translations is not always or not only related to literature. It might be a thesis, a report, a scientific study, a science book. Okay, so translation is a very wide range of a subject that covers a wide range. Okay, but in order to understand the nature of translation, the focus should not be on different types of discourse, but on the processes and procedures involved in any of all kinds, that is interlingual communication. Remember the term interlingual communication. Professor Bell in 1987 coined the term interlingual. Furthermore, a theory of interlingual communication should not be restricted to discussions between translating and interpreting, whether consecutive or simultaneous way you understand or not. A translation is a translation, since interpreting differs from translating primarily because of the pressure of time and exigencies of the setting. Some professional translators take considerable period and they take time. Okay. In reality, all persons engaged in the complex task of translation, they have their own perspective. Instead of no theories of translation, there are a multiplicity of such theories. Okay, such theories. There are philosophical perspective, there are linguistic perspective of translation, there are communicative perspective of translation, there are socio-semiotic perspective. Socio-semiotic matlab related to a particular group of people. Their values, their learnings, their knowledge, their ethos should not be hurt, their feelings. Okay. Now, what are the theories that we can discuss about it? What are the theories that you should learn about translation? Levy's approach, number one. Jiri Levy, Jiri, Jiri Levy, in 1969, was a scientist who influenced the translation researchers with his approach. Levy's approach to translation process differs from other translation theories because he, that is Levy, takes the translation process and the form of translated text into consideration, and to the same extent he considers translation as a written text of a branch of art. So, according to Levy, it is of high importance to assign the communicative aspects of significant formal properties of the foreign writer. Literary work should not be lose its literary value. Levy argues that artistic aspects of a work can be determined by the logic, and those aspects can be transferred with the same artistic value. Kollar's approach, Kollar, Kollar, who produced plentiful works of translation and analyzed different dimensions of translation, he brings forward the equivalence issue in translation in his work Grundproblem der Übersetzung Theorie. This is a German book. Okay, Grundproblem. He pronounces that translation process is a kind of interpretation art. That means everybody says that translation is an art. Art means your quality, how you can present. Okay, it is It is like a cooking, that how you can produce a different culinary to on the table to a different community. So the things remain original, but the taste remains original, okay, but it may be improvised by your own art and culture, all these things, okay. Then comes Klopfer's approach, Kloepfer, Klopfer's approach. The general idea of privatizing formal properties of text, and that the message in the original text may not be transferred to the target language in the same fashion, led to the source text based translation. During this period, when you are translating, you should not produce in toto the same thing. Why? It's very interesting, because a book is written in English, a book written in French, a book written in Germany. The flavor of the construction of sentences, the words, the meaning of the words, the local meaning of the word, the use of slangs, okay, idioms of particular language, French, Germany, English, Italian. So these are meant for the particular people of the country, and that cannot be understood by other people. So a translator's duty is to produce the same feeling, same contention in a different way, as far as close is possible. This is Klopfer's approach, okay. Appel's approach, APEL, Appel's approach. Another theory differs from the linguistic approach, who has similar views of Klopfer's approach, is Appel, APEL. Appel focuses especially on the transfers of implicit expressions of words. Implicit, not explicit. Explicit means visible, understandable. Implicit means subterranean, which is inside, which is hidden inside the text, okay. Then comes the result. So by the second half of the 20th century, morphologic properties of text, morphological, structural, word to word, word structural, okay, prioritized in translation. Means when you are using a particular term, particular word, that should be related to the particular community, okay. That is the source text oriented translations were popular. However, in the world globalization over time, it has been observed that source text oriented translation could not create the same effect on the target. If I translate a Germanic text into Bengali, or into Hindi, or into English, with the words taken from the Germanic similar to the Bengali or Hindi or English, okay, that would do. But if you are not translating the emotion which is implicit, okay, then you are not going to be a successful translator. not accepted, because when you are translating you have to always bear in mind that culture, emotion, knowledge level, linguistic, interlinguistic connection, approach should be properly dealt with. So translator becomes successful when he takes care of all these periphery of a translation. Okay. So I hope Parash Saini, you will have this answer of your text. Next I will go for the other chapter and look after the other questions given by other students. Okay. Thank you for the day.